Hello everyone. Today is the 27th of November, and in this video I'll be looking at the stock, the observations of the stock of mineral resources. I will be going in a little bit of a granular level, looking first from the monthly, the weekly, the daily charts, going down to the 15-minute level as well. I would really like to go through my observations so far and why I really like mineral resources. So let's dive into it. So first, I'll look at the monthly chart first. So let me just go and change this to the monthly chart, and uh, I'll scroll it to around January 2020, right? So what you see here now on the chart on the screen in the monthly for mineral resources is that during the 2019 2020, the stock had been in just a very close range. It was like consolidating, had been consolidating at a lot, hovering just around the 20 period moving average. And this I'm looking at the monthly one. And sometime in the month of February, March, and that was just the start of the COVID at the time. It did went into a down spiral here just a little bit. We'll see that on the weekly and daily. But since then, the stock, since around March 2020, the stock has been in a nice upper trend that you see. The beautiful thing which you will observe is that just once and twice has the stock tried to test the 20 period moving average, but on both the occasions it has closed above that level. What that means is that it has a strong uptrend, and that's what clearly we can see even for a long period of 2 years, more than 2 years. We can see this has been a continuous uptrend. There has been a few corrections which we can see as well, however none so drastic to have caused it into a sharp correction itself. Now, what we'll do is we'll change this to now to a weekly and just see the observations on the weekly chart as well. And the weekly chart, I'll again change it to around the same time period, which is start of the January 2020, a little bit before that, and see if we can just see the same observations here as well. So on the weekly as well, you'll see that it had again been, that's what we saw on the monthly as well. It has been in a consolidating phase. Try to go reach above sometime in this is sometime in February that it hit a top here, and then COVID hit, and it hit a bottom at around 9th of March 2020. But since the 9th of March 2020, it has not looked back. It just started its uptrend, and this was at around 12:10. So around 12:10 is what it had started around that time. And from 12:10 till today, if we just kind of look at how much the stock has gone so far, it has given a gain of 619 percentage, 619% over this period, which we can see. uh, I'll just delete this and we'll go back to our analysis. So the stock has been in an uptrend since then. What we can see here also is that, see, this is like an initial resistance after going for quite some time. This is the resistance it hit around this point. uh, from here we saw correction where it went back in. And if I chart this as a price action, what I can see is I can see this W formation again. This I will say, you can look at it at various angles, but the way that I am looking at is that this is a price action in a W formation, and the low here has not breached the low here. This again, uh, the way that I look at it is that this is again in an uptrend only. It has not breached this level to be not termed as an uptrend, and it is still in an uptrend. So we now, what we do is we'll look at um uh, the daily chart as well. But before looking at the daily chart, what would be good to see also is that how exactly it has performed in these low periods as well. So if you see, the way that we saw it was the upper channel. But the another way to look at it also is that, see, this is again, this is the M formation, not the W, but the M formation again, because here it was in a W here where it had gone, and we were looking at this resistance here, which it tested here once, which it tested here twice, and it had to cross this with a strong upside for it to then breach this initial resistance level, which resistance now become the support beyond this level. But within this time frame, we can see that when it was in this price action, we can see that it had tried to breach this level, and this would have been a close point to watch, because this here it was nearing its past high. It did not go beyond that, and since it dropped beyond this level, it was again a sell, right? This was not a point to make an entry. This was again a sell, and here it consolidated, and from here we can see the uptrend again, right? So now we'll uh, look at the uh, daily chart as well, and then go a little bit onto a granular, specifically what has happened in the last week, right? So this is the daily chart that we are seeing for mineral resources. Again, we can see a very good swing, very good uptrend after it crossed this 20 period moving average. It was below that again. This was a good point for entry. After this was around between 45 to 50, and it has been above this point, barring a few points here where it did try to test that 20 period support, and it has been in a good uptrend since. Has tested a few times, which we can see with those big red candles as well. And let's see a little bit more, going into a little bit more of a close period. Let's see in the last couple of months, right? This is now since September to this period that I'm looking at now. And now this was where for 3 days it had tested its support for the 20 period moving average. Again, try to test it here. Again, try to test it here. But since around the start of November, this has been in a continuous uptrend, right? This has been in an uptrend, and the last week is only that we saw it dipping, coming very close to the 20 period moving average. And what this closeness to the 20 period moving average, will look at the 15-minute chart as well now, and just see what it shows us, right? What is the analysis that we can derive, or the observations that we can derive out of that. So I'll just remove these, and now we will look at the 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart, just for the specifically when it started. Let's look at again when it started the downtrend, so that it hit a an upper limit here of 88.12 on the 23rd. So what we'll do is we'll look at from the 23rd of November. So we'll go back to the 15-minute chart and chart it from around the 23rd of November. So this is around the start of the day for the 23rd of November. It's not clear, so I'll just make it a little bit here. Yeah. Okay. So this is the 23rd of around this time is what the stock had opened on the 23rd. We can see that it's keeping above its long time support of a 20 period moving average. Started going, like we can see this doji forming here. There's a lot of indecision that was happening, a consolidation that was happening at this level. Now from here it can go to either level. If there was a strong support at this time, it we would have really liked to see it go beyond that, then it would have seen more of an upside. But since in the 15 minute we can see it's kind of dipping down, and then it forms a big red candle here, and after that it's just comes very close to the 20 period moving average, and just for a long period, very boring session, that it just consolidates. So what you see is from around the 23rd start of the trade itself till around this time, which is 24th in the afternoon session, it has just been consolidating, just hovering around this point. What it means is that there's a lot of indecision which is happening in this range, right? So you see this is kind of a rectangle in which it is forming. It is not crossing. So you see that it's just in the middle of this itself. It is not getting the strength to cross this. Instead what we see is it coming down, and when it came down there was a sharp fall. So there was more. When we are seeing this kind of a pattern in here, we can be more kind of sure that the strength of the buyers is weakening, and the because this was all a tussle, a big tussle that was going on between the buyers and the sellers, and in the end it's the sellers that won. The buyers were exhausted, and since this time period, when it hit this or cross below this level, we see a huge downtrend since then, right? That's a huge downtrend in terms of the percentages. Let's look at that. From this point to this point, within a period of from the 24th till the 25th, there's a huge dip of around like negative 6.35 percentage that it has gone within just a span of less than a day itself, right? Now what we would be now looking at is, now anything that goes up, let's have this kind of a thing clear. In the stocks, when anything is going up and up, it hits a top somewhere, and the same happens when anything is going down and down. A point will come that it will hit a bottom. It will hit a bottom when the sellers are exhausted and the buyers find a very good opportunity, and the buyers then take control beyond that. So this is what we'll see. Let's try to observe the stock and what we can make out of that. So what we see is here, sometime on the 25th, between 11:30 to 11:45 is when we can see that it took a good support. There's a big green candle out of that here, which surpasses the 50% of the long red candle, and then the more probability of this is that this support will hold. You can keep a stop loss at around this level and let it go up. Right now what we'll do is we'll go a little bit into a more granular level for a 5 minute chart, and we'll again go around the same time, which was around the 11:30 to 11:45, which we see between this period to this period, right? Between this period to this period, uh, it had been in a downtrend all this time, red, lots of reds, and then it hit a bottom, right? It hit a bottom. It formed a hammer here, which is like an inside candle here, and then there's a green, which is again not going below the last low of the red one, and once then it then goes above, crosses the 20 period moving average. The good time again, you'll see that it does come down again and hovers around this time, but the good thing to point note is that it has not gone below this level. It has not crossed this level. By the time that it ended on the day, it ended with a huge volume, and it ended above the 20 period moving average. So the probability from here, and that's something which we will observe when we chart it again next weekend for the next week. It would be the probability that we see beyond here is the keeping the stop loss here at the 20 period moving average, which is the 80.9 or 80.85 ish, and the probability from here on would be for this to kind of proceed upside. So that's what we can see with the volume on that, because as I said, as I showed in the weekly and the monthly charts as well, this is in a very strong uptrend until it really starts closing below the 20 period moving average for a long period of time. That's when we'll really be not looking this as a prospective candidate. But as long as it sustains above, maintains its long-term support, there are chances that it will just be going up from this level itself. So that's all for this week, with the observations and why I really like the mineral resources as a good stock. Hope you like the video, gained some insight into from my observations as well. Do like it and share it, and let's meet next week. Till then, happy investing.